Hello, you're listening to Metal Verbalizers, and I am Johan, and today I will verbalize the band Crimson Caliber. Crimson Caliber is a thrash metal band from Canada that was founded in 2016, I believe. At least that is according to the info that I have found. The band has released an EP which was titled Red Dawn Rising in 2017, which kind of suggests, in my opinion, that they might have been actually founded at least very, very close to 2017. So it would definitely be make sense if they would have been founded in 2016. And something that I would like to mention regarding Crimson Caliber's EP, Red Dawn Rising, is that there's songs on that album like Deathception, Noxious Breed, and Host Your Demise is all great songs. But if there was something that really caught my attention was the cover on that EP. And in case you don't know, I am personally a huge fan of Toxic Holocaust. And Crimson Caliber actually made a cover of the very famous Toxic Holocaust song Nuke the Cross on Red Dawn Rising. So that was something that I was very, very interested in, and I quickly checked that cover out. And as a big fan of Toxic Holocaust, I must say that Crimson Caliber is doing that cover very, very well. I mean, as having Toxic Holocaust as probably one of my favorite bands, and I mean, there is basically only one Toxic Holocaust, basically. But I mean, being such a big fan of that band, I must say that Crimson Caliber definitely did a very good job on doing that cover, and overall I think Red Dawn Rising is a great EP, and well, I would just like to compliment them on that very great cover. However, they followed up that EP with another EP which was titled Manufactured Genocide, which was released in the year after, in 2018. And then later in 2020, they released a single titled Trigger Hungry. This single was then later followed up by the band's first full-length album, their debut full-length, which is titled Covenant Tyrannies. I feel that Crimson Caliber in general is a band that has that is, again, they are a thrash metal band, but they definitely has a very like death metal style to them. I don't know if I would go as far as to call Crimson Caliber a death thrash band per se. But I think that when listening to the music and kind of checking out this band, is that the kind of death metal vibe, and there are some things here and there associated to death metal, perhaps mainly, that definitely shows here and there in Crimson Caliber. And I mean, one of perhaps the kind of first things that I really thought about that really made me think of death metal was the album cover to Covenant Tyrannies. In case you haven't seen that, it's like depicting a few poles with like impaled heads and stuff like that, you know, really violent, gory imagery that is perhaps mostly seen in death metal. But I mean, there are certain genres outside of death metal that kind of has that as well. And I mean, this would kind of be an example, I believe, of that with a band like Crimson Caliber, because it's like when I saw that album cover the first time, without really knowing how Crimson Caliber sounded at the time, I could have definitely thought that that was like a straight out death metal record, but then when I started listening to the album, I definitely noticed like, yeah, this is definitely thrash, but it's kind of like I said before as well, that even though it is thrash, I would consider that thrash, but you can definitely see some and hear some death metal in there. So I would generally say that if you're a big fan of thrash metal and kind of the more heavier type thrash, and perhaps more like into the death thrash sound, I think you should absolutely check out Crimson Caliber, and not the least Covenant Tyrannies specifically, because I'm sure that you would like that a lot. And Crimson Caliber actually managed to receive a lot of great reviews for Covenant Tyrannies after they released that in the underground. But something that kind of happened, unfortunately, for Crimson Caliber, which even more unfortunately has happened to a lot of bands lately, and that is COVID. COVID definitely kept Crimson Caliber back with Covenant Tyrannies, because despite the album being kind of a success in the underground, they couldn't really, properly tour and promote that album because of COVID. So that was definitely something that was kind of like holding the band back at the moment, which again, like, has happened a lot, and as kind of others have also spoken about COVID in relation to music and to all these bands. It's like, it's definitely the more underground bands that really got hurt by COVID. But however, more than COVID, both the guitarist and drummer at the time actually left Crimson Caliber, which I mean didn't really made Crimson Caliber being held back less, so to speak. However, it didn't take that much time, relatively speaking, before Crimson Caliber managed to find a replacer. And this gave them the possibility to record a new single, which was titled Unrelenting Force. And after that single was recorded, the band was also joined by a new drummer. And with this lineup, the band managed to record a music video for the song Trigger Happy that I mentioned earlier, the single from 2020. And something, I have actually been in contact with Crimson Caliber quite a little bit before I sat down and started recording this episode, and something that I was very interested and very looking forward to that they actually mentioned to me is that they are currently working on their second full-length album, and they told me that it will apparently be titled Destined for Delusion. So this is something that I thought was really good, and since I listened to Covenant Tyrannies and I thought it was a great album and overall, and I think that Crimson Caliber is definitely a very good band. So when they told me about Destined for Delusion and that they are really currently working on the next full-length album, I became very excited, and it's something that I will definitely keep my eyes open for. And I would of course absolutely like to encourage everybody who might be listening to this to do the same, to also keep your eyes open for that, since I'm sure that it will be great. However, with that being said, I believe it's kind of time to wrap things up for now. I appreciate you listening, and if you liked this episode, make sure to follow us on Metal Verbalizers, and we will give you more tips like this. And if this episode results in you actually checking out this band, then please tag us and let them know that we send you to them. We would appreciate it a lot, and I'm sure that they would appreciate it a lot as well. So we'll be back to you very soon with another verbalization.